Greetings, shop rats. Today, here in the shop, we're back on the Stitches Challenger. In our last episode, we went ahead and repaired the C-pillar. We had to cut some of this quarter panel roof assembly out, do repairs up in here, and then put it all back together again. So that's all done. Now the next things we need to accomplish are down at the bottom where we had been rebuilding this wheel tub. There is some work to do with the rocker panel and where the wheel tub comes together. And one more thing, back here we need to finish our work attaching this to the trunk extension. We have accomplished a huge amount of work on this car in the last few episodes. We are working towards getting this quarter panel installed, being able to put this car back on the rear end, move it back out of the way, pull the motor out, and get it on the rotisserie. So these are the last couple of things that I think we need to accomplish to give this vehicle the chassis integrity that it needs to be able to handle being hung by its front and back bumper mounts, basically. So we want to make sure that it's not doing that. Remember that the stuff that we do here on the channel just doesn't apply to a 70 Challenger, but it can apply to any vehicle that you're working on. There are low-cost alternative ways to doing things where you don't just have to buy parts, and you get the satisfaction of making things with your own hands. Remember that any skill level you have is the place to start. The way to do fabrication that doesn't suck is to do fabrication that sucks until you do it enough that it doesn't suck as bad and eventually doesn't suck at all. Now, we could just keep talking about it, or we could just get into it. So let's watch the show intro. I'll see you in about 29 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is My Car's Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
The challenge and the fun of doing the YouTube channel is speaking to everybody that I know is here and watching, as well as trying to be informative for people who've never seen the show before. And that's, to me, that's the fun of it. You know, we do a lot of stuff here that's outside the box. We do a lot of things that most people wouldn't do. Some people say it's a lot more work. I'm not so sure that it is. I know one of our channel viewers, Bill B, we've been emailing back and forth, and he was talking about brand new parts out of the box that don't fit, that he's having to get out the metal persuasion and the cutter and cut and weld and make things fit that even brand new parts don't fit. It's a matter of the work you choose to do. There's no right or wrong way. In my opinion, remember, I don't necessarily do things the way everybody else would do them. I always know what I'm doing, and I'm only sharing here what I do. Doesn't mean it's the right way. It's just my way. Now, let's just get down here, and I think we're going to start down here and get this area wrapped up so that we finish up this wheel tub that we've been working on back a ways, quite a ways, before we move back up here. I don't know if we're going to get both of these things accomplished today. I hope to, but you know, I only have so many hours in a day, and this isn't my entire life. So let's see what we can get done. We are very fortunate that the rocker panel itself is very solid, so we don't have to do much with that. But the end of the rocker panel, which is not abnormal, is rotted out. So we've got to get in there and cut some stuff out and make some stuff to repair all of this so that where this wheel tub joins into the rocker panel is not all garbage. So I think the way to do that is just to get in here and cut this off and just take out that whole bottom section down in there and just build a whole new piece to make all that fit together. Hopefully this isn't too punky, too far. This is probably 16 gauge steel, so it's really heavy. So we should be in good shape. We're very fortunate on this car compared to the Forsyth Duster that this does not need rocker work. It's one of the few things on this car that's not rotted right into the ground. So that's a very good thing. And of course we've got some rust repair to do here too. So we'll probably patch all of this together with a piece once we get this cut off and then get at the end of that rocker panel. don't have quite enough room to get in here with my cutoff wheel. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen this window. I know I need to take these out of here eventually, but it's just not been a priority right now. The glass is pretty well shot. It's full of grinder stuff, and it's not from me. It's from other things in the past, probably when they were cutting this car apart. So I'm not that worried about it, but we'll need to take this stuff out of here eventually. The reason I've left the glass in is because it's in such rough shape that I'll know I'll end up having to replace it, but it's glass, it's fine. Here we go. Unfortunately, it won't be quite that easy to install because I won't be putting it on with a quarter panel off, but it's out and out of my way now, so I have plenty of access. Actually, the window's not in bad shape. It's got some embedded metal from grinding, but I was always very careful. It's got overspray, it's got all kinds of stuff. Most of this feels like overspray maybe, but it'll be fine. But I will say this as a note, I had decided to go ahead and put new glass in it anyway, so I didn't care. But when you're working on this stuff, if you're wanting to save your glass, either take it out or cover it with masking tape or something so that you don't get grinder sparks and welder sparks on it, because it will embed in the glass, and then your glass will look rusty down the road. Ask me how I know, because I did that to the back window on the 68 GTS. Lessons learned the hard way. Father, sister, brother. So you can see part of the reason the rocker panel rotted out, again, is full of gifts. So we'll have to get a vacuum and suck that out and see exactly what things look like down in there. But yeah, that's part of the problem. So we got that all cut out now. You'll notice me doing a little dance when I grabbed this hot piece of metal here. Funny part of that was I was going to sit down and I heard in my little voice in my head say, grab your gloves. So I grabbed my gloves, promptly set them on the floor, and didn't put them on, and then burnt the living crappers out of my finger. Yep, it's all good, no big deal. At least you hopefully got a good laugh. So I went through and wire brushed all of that up and sprayed it with spray all over the place and rust conditioned it. So now I'm ready to start figuring out what I'm going to make for patches down here. Maybe you need to do a little more trimming up in here. No, I guess it's not. It's fine. So I think we're going to be pretty good to go now. Get these patches on, and then we can build this piece here, which means putting the quarter panel on and off another 10,362 times, but it is what it is. But I want to let this dry a little bit, and while I'm figuring out, probably start making this patch first, and then we'll make that one. All patched up, good to go. One down, one to go. Realized I ran out of satin black, so I'm gonna have to make a road trip here soon to get some more satin black paint, because I'm gonna shoot all of that with satin black while I'm at it. So yeah, we're getting there though. Looking good. So let's start making our end cap here. And I think this piece is going to be a flat plate with some ears that kind of bend over. So we'll probably make a cardboard template for this one. That'll be easier, and then just cut that out and get it done. Template is built. Looks good. Sit in here like this. It's kind of, sort of, ish. Needs to scoot out just a little bit, but like that. So we'll get that made out of metal and then get that welded on there, because that's how we roll. Then the next step, of course, will be to finish that piece right there and just get it done. Got it all marked out. Just get to cut it out, and then we can start making it. Good progress. Shouldn't be too long now. We'll have this part done, then we can start finishing up that wheel well. Now the trick will be making sure we bend everything the right way. So we gotta lay ourselves out here like this, and everything bends accordingly. So obviously metal is a bit thicker than cardboard, so we got a couple of issues there to take care of. So I've traced out exactly where it's got to go, and I just need to tweak things a little bit so I know exactly. There we go. This has got to come off here a little bit, like that. Okay. This has got to V in a little more, like this. Okay, I think we're close. shave this back edge just a smidge. There we go. Boy, if I could hold that in place and just tap everything over. Good. Just take that over to the vise now and make this edge crisp, and then I can start folding the rest. All right, here's our patch. Let's see how we go. We just had a hammer. I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening all over the land. Well, what the heck? Gotta shoot that, snake that, fit that. There we go. Fits nicely. We'll be able to weld it along the top here and then down that edge. And then of course we'll come over here and we can just pull this right down in like that. And that's gonna work really well. We'll weld it across the top, up in there. And of course, then once that's in, we'll finish. Looks like we haven't welded from maybe from here. We've just spot welded. So we've got a job of work to go around and finish welding that and then make this piece that's going to tie this to that. So yeah, we're doing okay. It's getting there little by little by little by little. Got her all welded up. She's in place, looking good. So the next thing we need to do is now make this piece down here, which I don't know exactly how that's got to be, so I think we'll have to hang the quarter panel back in place, get a feel for it, and then get that patch cut up. So I just welded a temporary bracket to put that in the exact spot. I put the quarter panel on, put that little bracket there, and now I know exactly where things need to be. So now I can take and fill this in down here with a piece and make that what it needs to be. So this is going to be good. This should be pretty fun. I'm just going to bring it down to here for now. And then there's a little bit we'll have to do later, but that's not going to affect the structural integrity of the quarter panel, and it'll be easier to do that on the rotisserie than sitting here on the floor. Doing it this way, but this is going to work pretty well, I think. So let's get our piece cut. I may go ahead and bring that patch way up into here. I think we'll make a cardboard template for this, or maybe we'll make it in two pieces. I don't know, we'll figure it out. And we've got it patched together now. I'm not quite done all the way down here, but until I am going to be putting this quarter panel on, I don't want to get that all finished because it's got just stuff. So yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Not perfect. I still got to go back and do some more spot welding across there. I'm running out of time for today, so. But this was tedious. This took me hours and hours to do, but it had to be done. I've been putting it off, but now it looks good and it's nice and solid. I got to cut that little brace off of there yet, but I'll do that later. But I'm really happy with the way that's looking. So patch to do in there, as I said, we'll do that on the rotisserie. Of course, we got all that cleaned up inside of there as well. So look at how magic it is now. Ain't she pretty? The OCD in me wants to take the grinder and clean all that stuff up, make it look better, but screw it. Not bad for an old patched together 70 Challenger. So, what's next? The biggest point of deflection on this car is right there. We got to get this attached to the floor. So, and I knew that when we built that other piece back there. That's not attached yet anyway. But this is a little more complicated, and I need to do this from this side with the quarter panel off. So that's probably going to be an episode in itself to get this put in there and stiffened up. The whole back of the car is, you can see the whole, I may not be able to because I can't, this whole thing is flexing because of this movement here. So, and then of course it also causes the quarter panel up here to flex. So once we get this stiffened up and attached where it's supposed to be, this car is going to be stiff as a stiff thing. As Mark has so appropriately pointed out, when the car looks better and I look worse, we must have accomplished something. Wow, I'm pooped, but it's progress. So next will be that piece that we were just looking at right there, and getting that done there. And then we should be ready once I go around and touch up everything around there. We should be ready to attach the quarter panel. I noticed today that the quarter panel was about a 1/4 inch low in the front. I don't know how I did that, but that's why we leave things on and look at them before we go ahead and attach them. So I did adjust the clicos, get the front of that quarter panel up more, checked around the wheel well, everything still fits good. It actually fits even tighter, which is good. You really want that panel to be good on the top and then just stretch right around that wheel well so that it's a nice tight pinch in there. So once we get that back end done, she should be a big step forward. I can't even begin to tell you guys how, guys and gals, there's gals here too. And I say guys, I'm from Michigan, so, you know, everybody's guys. Anyway, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate all the support, all the help, all the stuff you guys send me. It's just overwhelming how supportive everybody is of what we're doing here. And of course the feedback as well, you sharing your projects, you emailing me, posting over on Facebook, all the stuff that you do means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. I try to respond to everybody. It's not always easy to, but I'm blown away. And for a channel that is just like this big, to have this kind of dedicated support is just mind-blowing to me. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. We are in early to mid-February right now, and for you guys watching this, it's probably mid-March, maybe early March, not sure, but got about another month that is going to be crap weather, and then the priorities around here change, as you know. But I really, really would love to have this car back on its own wheels this summer. So we can do that. I may recruit some help to get some of this work done so that we can really slam it out. Once that's done, I may just throw this thing in primer and put it on the road for a while before I go ahead and take it to the next step. We'll see. I've got a small block drivetrain complete for this car that we could just drop in and fire it up, and who knows? I mean, there's a lot of parts missing yet, so it's going to depend on the cash. Do I have enough money to get all the parts we need? And of course, we've got a lot of cosmetic work to do, like around the rear window, and I'm betting around the windshield. But if we got after it, once those floor pans are in, it's all done. We just got to finish it up. As always, my mouth's writing checks that my butt can't cash, so we may not get that far, but it's good to have goals. You gotta have those goals. All right, I'm gonna shut up, get cleaned up. Got a lot of things I need to do yet today. It is the weekend, and I try to get as much done and filmed as I can on the weekend, but I do have a life other than this, so, you know. Anyway, we are on the Face thing. Instant Grandma Loves Us, / My Car Shop. You're on the You thing here, / My Car Shop. I appreciate each and every one of you, as I said. And one more thing. Wow.